Hello students, in the previous video we have seen some basic terms of genetics. Now from today we'll start with the Mendel's experiment. Now see, the Mendel did his experiment and it is called as the hybridization experiments. And I told you the meaning of hybridization is intermixing of two or more characters. Okay? And how he intermixed the two characters? That is by the process of emasculation and bagging. And I told you the meaning of emasculation and bagging also. That is, the meaning of emasculation is the removal of anther from the bisexual flower. And after that, just to take those anthers and sprinkle them on the female part of the flower. It is called as the emasculation as well as the bagging, and by this we can get the hybrid seeds. Okay. Now today we will start all his experiments. See, the question number 1 is why Mendel has selected pea plant. Okay, why he has selected only pea plant? Why not other? Because he saw the pea plant very minutely and got a result that the pea plant consists of contrasting characters. Okay. What is the meaning of contrasting character? That is, if one plant of the pea was tall, then other was very short. There was no intermixing of the plant. Clear? That is, if the tall plant was tall, then it was all about 6 feet tall. And if the dwarf plant was dwarf, then it was about 1 foot. There is no intermixing. There is no plant of the height 2, 3, 4 or 5 feet. And that's why he selected the pea plant after seeing his contrasting characters. Now see children, what were the contrasting characters in case of pea plant? Number 1 was height of the plant. Okay. What was the height? Whether the plant was very tall or it was dwarf. We can also write it as a short. Okay. Now he saw that this tall is a dominant character. Clear? Tall was a dominant character and it was recessive. Now, what was other thing? That is position of flower. What was the position of flower? Either it was axial or terminal. So he was sure that this is the dominant flower and this is the recessive one. After that, flower color. Now, color of the flower. It was purple and the white were totally white. There was no any intermixing, no ambiguity, no confusion. Those who were of good color, they were at their peak of purple color, and those flower who were white, they were totally white. There was no light purple, no off-white something. It was not like that. Either it was purple or it was a white. After that, pod shape. One, 2, 3, 4. Okay. What was the pod shape? Either it was inflated or it was constricted. Clear? Then, point number 5. Seed shape and seed color. What was the seed shape? Shape maybe round or carbuncle color was either yellow or green. Clear? Sixth point. And seventh is pod color. It was also green and yellow. Clear. So he saw these 7 contrasting characters, and every time in all the plants he saw that these were the dominant traits and these were the recessive traits. So it became very easy for him to find out the result. Okay. So this was the first point, that why he had selected the pea plant, and the reason was because the pea plant has varieties of characters. Okay. Now second point of his selection was this: the life cycle of the pea plant was very short. Within the 3 or 4 months, he got result. Okay. So he had a lot of time to do his experiments within the same year, because if the life cycle of the pea plant was of only 3 to 4 months, then within one season he would grow many varieties or many times. Clear? So this was the second important reason, and the reason was, that is, life cycle of pea plant was very short. Clear? Third important property or characteristic for choosing the pea plant was that the flowers were bisexual. Okay, and they favors self-pollination. Okay, as well as cross-pollination. Clear? And after crossing them experimentally or after crossing them artificially, the new plants that grew, they all have the same characteristic of the original one. So originality of the plant was not removed. Clear? So these were the bases. What we can write down? The hybrids were also growing in natural way. Their originality was not lost. Clear? So these were some important factors or points. On that basis, Mendel had selected the pea plant. Now we will see his few experiments, and the number 1 experiment is law of dominance. Okay. Now see what he has done in case of law of dominance. He said that out of the 2 contrasting character, one will always be the dominant and other will always be the recessive. For example, suppose he took the flower, okay, and he took one character of the flower, that is its color. Now, what are the 2 colors of the flower? Whether it may be purple or it may be white. If it is purple, then purple is dominant, and if it is white, then white is recessive. Okay. And he said that in all the generations, the dominant color will represent itself. This is called as the law of dominance. See how? Now children, you know how to make a cross, okay? Because in the previous standard you have already read this. What to do in this case? We have to prepare the gametes. We all know that gametes are always haploid. Suppose this is the parent generation. Then we have to take the gametes, and these will be the gametes. Okay, as the gametes are haploid, so we will take only single P. After that, what we have to do? We will go for the F1 generation. Clear? And then we will draw the Punnett square, as it was discovered by the scientist named as Punnett, and that's why it has got its name, Punnett square. Okay, so what to do? We will draw the Punnett square and then we'll show the crosses. Now, how to show the crosses? Once again, because we have two gametes, so we will make a box for the two gametes. Write down capital P, small p and small p. Once again, suppose this is female and this is male. One of the side is male and other is female. Now, how we will cross? We will make like this. This cross with this with this, and again this with this. Okay. Now, every time one capital P is present in the offsprings. Clear? And if the dominant trait is there, then every time the dominant will express itself and recessive will not be able to express, although it will remain with the dominant. Okay, it will make the gene of the dominant, because in the pair only we can say that it is a gene and it is present. So it will help the dominant, but it will not show its character. So every time what we will get purple flower. This is called as law of dominance. Okay, what we can say, this is law of dominance, that every time the dominating character is showing itself, and recessive, although they are there with the dominant, but they are not showing. Okay, not showing their character. So this is all about the law of dominance given by the Mendel. Now we will see monohybrid and dihybrid cross.